I've met a lot of creators in 4 years, and all the top creators you can think of, and had conversations with them like this for 2 to 3 hours. 99% of the times, what you see on camera and what they are off camera is very different.
Any funny incident you would remember from any of your coaching sessions?
Actually, I don't know if I should be mentioning this, but a lot of times people come into booking a career guidance session, but you will be amused to know that a lot of them are coming for relationship advice too. And my parents are like, it's your first job. People concentrate on their first job, give it their all, and this girl is launching her own website in 10 days. Got rejected left, right, center. After 60 rejections, one company finally gave me a chance on intern Shala.
60 rejections?
Yes, 60 companies rejected me. They said कि भाई तुम इसी engineering करके इधर क्यों apply कर रहे हो?
You enjoyed engineering?
I enjoyed all the aspects of it other than the studying part of it. While I was good at the studying part and a very, very nerdy student. Obviously, making a career out of LinkedIn, what I've understood is LinkedIn is a platform that can give you whatever professional outcome you want in your life, provided you use it the right way.
हेलो वेलकम बैक. तो हमने सोचा कि इतने सारे एपिसोड्स तो कर लिए फाउंडर्स के साथ, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के साथ, तो अब एक इंटरेस्टिंग ट्विस्ट दिया जाए. व्हाई नॉट गेट अ पॉडकास्टर? सिमिलर प्रोफेशन, सिमिलर टेस्ट, सिमिलर वाइब, सिमिलर फील, और फिर देखे हाउ हैज द जर्नी ऑफ अ पॉडकास्टर बीन इन द फील्ड ऑफ कंटेंट क्रिएशन. टुडे therefore we interestingly have Dhairya. Dhairya is not only a podcaster but a very, very well-known career coach who is making ripples in the industry and has transitioned multiple careers to eventually reach here at a very, very young age. I'm very excited. Are you? चलो देखते हैं. Thank you so much, Dhairya, for coming to Bertha India Dekho. Such a pleasure, and I'm also very excited because for the first time we have a podcaster who is there with us. Tell us, does it feel different to be a guest rather than a host, or it's the same feeling?
No, firstly, thank you so much, Debujit, for having me over on the podcast. I've really been looking forward to our conversation, and I'm so glad that Sanjeev sir from ProRata could get us connected, and then we're doing this today. I think, I feel like the tables have turned, right? Because I'm very used to being in your seat,
Yes.
right? And asking questions, leading the conversation. But I think for a change, it's good to be a guest as well. It feels like I'm in the spotlight. So that's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to be asked difficult questions, or you're feeling it's fine?
I'm probably I'm in a dilemma, right? I'm very excited, but I know that there may be a few questions that I'll have to introspect on a lot, but I'm just looking forward to a good conversation.
Right. Do you like conversations in general?
I love it. I am a person who thrives on talking to people, gaining insights from them, and extracting whatever it is that I can. So I think, on an average, I probably meet at least 10 new people in a week.
Right.
That's like a bare minimum, right? And because of the nature
That's
of my
a lot.
work, because of the nature of my work in the past 4 years, I've met so many people, and every conversation teaches me so much about life, about entrepreneurship, about how people think, their mindset, and so much more, right? So yeah, I think a major part of who I am is because of the conversations I've had with people.
Who are you?
Yes, good question. Who am I? I think at the core of everything, I am somebody who likes creating an impact while being satisfied with leading a good lifestyle. And that happens to be fulfilled via coaching students and working professionals as a career coach professionally. I work with colleges, I work with edtech startups and corporates as a trainer. And I also happen to create content on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. LinkedIn being the primary platform. So I work with a lot of brands. And apart from that, I have a podcast that I recently started, a career-specific podcast. So that's majorly a couple of things that I juggle between. But yeah, I think at the core of everything, the underlying fact is that Dhairya is somebody, again, who genuinely wants to create an impact via upskilling and helping people go forward in their careers. And whatever medium and channel, distribution channel that I can use to do that, I've been doing that for the past 4 years. And yeah, I love being around people, having great conversations, and love traveling as well.
Lovely. Help me understand if you have to give one reason for people seeing your podcast, which is the Area Decodes.
Yeah.
What will it be?
I think there's only one reason, and that one reason is enough. There aren't any career specific podcasts in our country.
Okay.
If you go to Spotify and if you type career as a niche, you'll mostly find foreign creators. You will hardly find any podcast that's specifically catered to decoding people's career trajectories. That too in a video plus audio format, right? And I also feel that in general, a podcast can only be good enough if the questions are engaging and the conversation is engaging. That's my point. What I feel, maybe a very strong opinion, if two people are sitting across the table, today it's Dhairya, tomorrow it can be anybody sitting here, Debojit. The point is, if I am not able to have an engaging conversation with someone in front of me and give value to the audience, it is just a conversation. People don't care. There are enough podcasts in the world. The only way you can stand out is if you have an engaging conversation, you ask the right questions, and you have something value adding. So that's the only way you stand out. So I think I genuinely feel that the questions that we try to ask, that me and my team curate, are very well researched and thought through in a manner that we are able to extract information from overly exposed guests as well. You may have seen a lot of the faces on a lot of podcasts, but you'll learn a thing or two new about them through the podcast. That's the aim, right? कि वही same चीज repetition में सुनने को ना मिले.
What should we not do in a podcast?
See, I feel the random default nature is that, आप क्या करते हो, what do you do, how are things going, or what is your opinion about XYZ. Those generic questions just don't work. Depth, right? So if you don't go into the depth of things, that's a big blunder a lot of people make, right? Superficial overview in a podcast does not help. Because the audience that is, aap socho, even if let's say 1,000 people are watching your podcast, if 1,000 people are watching my 2.5 hour long podcast, it's a big thing for me, not in terms of numbers.
Yes.
It goes to show 1,000 लोगों को 2 घंटे की conversation से कुछ सीखने को मिला.
Interesting.
और 2 घंटे कौन बैठता है यार आज, where we are talking about attention spans of 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
How do you make that happen? You make that happen when you go into the depths of things. So I think one major mistake a lot of podcasters make is, going from topic A, topic B, topic C, cut. Not going into the depth of each topic. So that's a mistake probably that can be avoided to have a better conversation.
We'll talk more about the podcast. It's a very interesting one personally for me also.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to know, how did you make the transition there? I mean, first from engineering to then management consulting, and now to managing your own business along with content creation. Very, very different things, right? How has the transition shaped up?
I think, like you very rightly said, firstly, nothing was intentional. But like I was also telling you when we were having a conversation off camera, I think my journey has been driven by this one thing, that I've always, right from the age of 16, when I joined first year of engineering, I was very clear with kya nahi karna in life, right? So the moment I knew, okay, you don't want to do this, or this is not where you see yourself, or this is not the outcome you want, everything became very easy in terms of knowing what you want. Like people always ask me, how did you have clarity? I didn't have clarity. I had clarity of what should not be done for sure, and then took steps in a direction that ye hata do, eliminate kar do, and then it became easier to know what I want to do. So when engineering happened, again, it was not my decision or choice. A mentor of mine pushed me into it and I blindly trusted him and he told me do it, so I did it. And he was right. कर तो मैं सकती हूँ और कर तो मैंने लिया. उन्होंने यही बोला था, इंजीनियरिंग आपकी बेटी कर लेगी मेरी मम्मी को. Because she used to think that maths मेरे से वैसे भी होता नहीं था. It was the weakest subject for me, right? But he got me to a very good level, I would say. From failing and flunking in maths to doing very well in ICSE boards in 10. So I was like, he said she can do engineering. Put her into engineering. So we just did it.
You enjoyed engineering?
I think not as much. Honestly speaking, not as. I enjoyed the all the aspects of it other than the studying part of it. While I was good at the studying part and a very, very nerdy student. That's how I've always been. Like my notes, my books. मतलब मैंने तो बेचे अपने notes 5,000 में, right? उस तरीके के notes थे मेरे, gold notes. तो पढ़ाई बहुत की है, but I didn't enjoy that. I enjoyed being a part of the organizing team of the cultural fest, of the technical fest, being a part of 6 clubs and chapters.
Where was this engineering college?
VIT Vellore.
VIT. How is the gender ratio there?
Gender ratio is very bad. Like I think in my class there were about maybe 20. If there were 20 girls, then you had 80 boys. ऐसा कुछ.
Okay.
So gender issue is always messed up. But I think I just enjoyed every aspect apart from the studying aspect of engineering. Whether it was connecting with alumni, whether it was going to different competitions, being a part of hackathons, everything else, right? So that I enjoyed a lot. And yeah, I think apart from that,
management consulting कैसे हुआ?
Yeah, so what happened is I realized very early on again in second year कि grades अच्छे आ रहे हैं, I understand subjects, कर भी मैं लूंगी, 4th year तक कर लूंगी and placement भी ले सकती हूँ, मैं ऐसा नहीं ले सकती हूँ. But do I want to do it? You ask yourself that, and I was very early to ask myself that.
Yeah.
And the answer was clearly no in my head. My heart, my mind always said no. That I don't see myself doing this full time or as a career. So then you ask yourselves, what else do you have as an option? You see, पूरी भीड़, पूरी जनता in any engineering college, civil stream से है, chemical से है, या CSE से है. Everybody is going for a CSE job at a top tech MNC. Everybody wants that high package job at a, IT service company. And I was like, वो तो यार कभी नहीं करना लाइफ में. Like इसी वाला core job तो मैं फिर भी कर लूंगी. I'll still consider it. But learning coding and doing a job as a software engineer at any MNC, whether they give me a 2 crore package, 5 or whatever, I'll never do that. I was very clear. Because I never liked it. I was not interested. That's the reason I didn't take computer science engineering. My mother was very keen I take it up. I said, no. If you want me to pass, get good grades and complete this degree, then let me choose the stream myself. Because I'm not going to be able to do it certainly with CSE. So yeah, that's when I realized ये नहीं करना है, and then ये भी नहीं करना है, तो अब क्या करना है? Then I stumbled upon management. Management seemed very interesting. It piqued my interest, but there was nobody that could help me through the journey. No mentor, no senior. Engineering college में आप कहाँ से senior ढूंढोगे who will help you with management related queries? The placement cell has companies, which are all tech driven role related, right? So you have 800 of the best companies in the world coming in, but they're all hiring for pure tech roles. So placement scenario also I had understood there are very bleak chances I could get placed in a management firm. But then the point is, you have realized this is what you are meant for, right? So I thought 2 years are there. There's something I can definitely do. People told me you'll have to do an MBA, that's the only way. Financial conditions at home were very, restricted, so it was very clear I can't do an MBA right after college, right after BTech.
पर इंजीनियरिंग के बाद मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग की जॉब कौन देता है?
हाँ वही तो another thing was जब मुझे पता चला, so what happened is I started looking for internships. जब सबने बोला MBA कर लो, I said वो तो possible ही नहीं है, और जॉब तो चाहिए, और जॉब मैनेजमेंट में चाहिए, और कॉलेज तो as such देगा भी तो बहुत कम कंपनीज आएंगे. So started looking for internships, got rejected left, right, center. After 60 rejections, one company finally gave me a chance on intern shala.
60 rejections?
Yes, 60 companies rejected me. They said कि भाई तुम EC engineering करके इधर क्यों apply कर रहे हो, right? You neither have the skill set, nor the acumen, nor have you studied for it, nor does your resume reflect anything. And they were right in what they said. Sure. I agree, it wasn't the case, but if you don't give me a chance, how am I going to pivot, right? So that one person gave me a chance, right? It was an Abu Dhabi based firm. I did a virtual internship as a business development intern. And then from there, you need that one thing to fall in place. That one internship led to the second, to the third, and I ended up doing 25 plus paid internships while in college. Those 25 plus paid internships in consulting, where I did a management consulting internship, in sales, in business development, operations, marketing, content writing, to anything that you can think of under management. I did it all, right? To get clarity as to what I want to do within management, because it's a vast field.
True that.
So by the end of the 4th year and these 25 plus internships, I had understood very clearly people, communication skills and problem solving. These three things jahan bhi aayingi, I can kill it. Right? So when you understand that intersection,
Yes.
consulting and management consulting fit in very well there. From the options of the different kinds of companies coming in the placements, I had to look at that also. अब 800 में से about 25 or 30 companies were management oriented or coming for like BD sales roles in an engineering college for the right reasons again. So I had 30 chances. You have 30 darts to hit. One of them hits, great. If not, you take a risk. And I took the risk. So not that I was very bold or overconfident. My point was, why do I sit in an Amazon placement जब पता है अगर हो भी गया सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर बन भी गई तो I won't be able to pull it off. So I didn't sit for those placements. Sat for 25-30 companies, made it through 3, then chose KPMG because the role, which was SAP Ariba Consulting in management consulting,
Was more closer to
interesting.
you.
Very interesting because it had a techno-functional capability. So you could apply your technical skills.
Help you with something.
And functional.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
From the internships that you did, what are one or two things that shaped your perspective on career and growth?
Yeah, so I think because very early on, I got to work in a team. I got to write emails. I understood how hierarchy works. I understood more about leadership. I became very clear about two things, right? One, never restrict yourself to a JD, right? If you really want to see growth in general,
Great learning.
right?
Great learning. People
Yeah.
keep asking when they join jobs that what is my KPI and KRA.
Correct.
I only want to do that. But
Yeah.
actually the ones who are growing
Are the ones who will
going
go
beyond.
100%.
Yeah.
If you want to grow in anything, you cannot say, भाई इतना मेरा box है मैं इसमें ही
इसी में,
इतना
हाँ,
करूंगा.
true.
वो I understood during my internship only.
Right.
I don't think I've ever said I won't do this ever.
Right.
Right? And that learning helped me in my corporate journey as well.
Yeah.
Right? And then it amplified in a manner that in the first 10 months itself, I got promoted in my first job.
Yeah.
This is how things play out. Those 2 years, 25 internship experiences, learning from different founders. Also because those internships were in UK based firms, US based firms, Abu Dhabi and India. I worked in different time zones and geographies. I also got to learn the importance of deadlines and the importance of time, which again, a lot of people I think take very loosely. Just being on time, respecting and valuing the other person's time, getting things done, informing, just, the right way of informing your bosses or immediate managers if something is not going to fall through, which was assigned upon you. Might seem like such a basic thing.
Yeah.
But people don't know how to articulate it well in that moment because there's a fluster that they get into. There's panic, there's stress. You have been told to create a presentation by EOD. EOD ho gaya hai and you have not submitted it. How do you handle the situation? Are you going to drop an email? Are you going to call them? Are you going to blame it upon another team member? So dealing with such situations like real life conflict resolution, it taught me a lot.
So how do you make money therefore from LinkedIn and therefore the final transition of your life
Yeah.
when content creation started?
Correct. So I'll tell you, I think what eventually started happening is I was really good at my job. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a great team, some amazing leaders. And right from day one, they knew very well that I'm posting on LinkedIn because the journey was such that I joined KPMG full time. And almost 10 days later, I had launched the Harrier Decodes website, right? And my parents are like, it's your first job. People concentrate on their first job, give it their all. And this girl is launching her own website in 10 days. Again, intention was not ki job ka, I was not grateful. Nahin. The point was, again, udhar day one se I knew one thing. I don't want my identity to be restricted to a job title at a company. If tomorrow Dhairya Gangwani is not an analyst at KPMG, then who is she? And I thought about that very early on.
Wow. This is, I think, an answer that youngsters don't look at all for. Which is, who am I if I am not my profession or my family?
Correct.
And that unique identity, first individually and eventually spiritually,
Yeah.
is an important chase in life.
Yeah, correct. So I understood and I'm like, फिर तो कुछ होगा ही नहीं. आप तो बस फिर एनालिस्ट हो KPMG पे और क्या है? Then I understood, no. You will have to have some kind of a personal brand and you'll have to have something that people associate your name with and what they reach out to you for some unique
वहाँ
skill
से
set.
आया,
वहाँ से आया. And then I started posting on LinkedIn. Nobody was creating videos on LinkedIn 4 years ago, right? Even today, very few people create videos.
True.
It became my moat, my unfair advantage. My videos started going viral
Post videos on LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn 4 years ago. Yeah. So those
Very
videos got me that those eyeballs, and then placement and training cell officers of colleges started calling me and saying, why don't you come and do like a orientation session for our college students? Why don't you come and do a LinkedIn workshop for our students? One thing led to another. Then EdTech startups started reaching out and said that B2C and B2B model dono mein upskill our students. Then I moved to corporate trainings, right? And in the midst of all of this, all the top brands that you can think of that run massive campaigns on Instagram and YouTube started reaching out to me to post on LinkedIn, and they were ready to pay me money, which to me was just amusing, right? Because I am here doing a job as a technology consultant at KPMG. Chalo, thoda bahut sessions I'm doing, and by the way, the first 150 sessions that I did, even trainings, were completely free. The first 200 students I personally trained were completely free. Because my point was, yaar, पैसे बना लेंगे, कुछ impact हो रहा है कि नहीं? So I wanted to actually sit down and see these students, are they getting any outcomes, or am I just going to burn a hole in their pocket? So when almost 80 to 90% of them got results in the next 1.5 months, then I was like, no, there's something I'm doing right. Then it makes sense. And then also I was like, I still have a full-time job. I don't want to make money out of this. I just enjoy this so much that I was ready to put in hours on Saturday, Sunday also. I was like busier on Saturday, Sunday than Monday to Friday, right? So then I started charging 250 rupees for a 1 hour session. ताकि उनके पॉकेट पे भी है अभी ना, और मैं पैसे बनाने के लिए कर ही नहीं रही थी. एंड आई ऑलवेज फील जब आप पैसे बनाने के लिए कुछ नहीं करते हो, द मनी विल ऑलवेज फ्लो इन.
Any funny incident you would remember from any of your coaching sessions?
Funny? Yeah, actually, I don't know if I should be mentioning this, but a lot of times people come into booking a career guidance session, but you will be amused to know that a lot of them are coming for relationship advice to you.
Okay.
This happens. Or they're coming for trauma related advice to you. And I'll be very honest, this is not on like a funny note. I'm telling you on a serious note. I think I've coached probably around 10,000 students so far.
One-on-one?
One-on-one नहीं, overall. One-on-one 1-2 तो आराम से हो गए होंगे, है ना? In those interactions, most of the problematic stuff or why they are not where they are, या जो भी दिक्कतें हैं, that is stemming from a family problem, a relationship issue, or just self-image issues, confidence, etc. Being a career coach doesn't mean you have to just give career-related advice, give them a roadmap, tell them which course to do, what skills to upskill on, where to go.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You have to
get into their life,
problems.
which people don't understand. You have to first understand the person and their background, only then you can solve their career issue, which a lot of career coaches don't understand. So I have given a lot of relationship and family related gyan also to people from whatever I know, because that is what they needed, right?
Yeah.
A person wants to, let's say, become a CA, or let's say they don't want to become a CA, but their family is like, to CA ban. But the person, the student is very clear, मुझे marketing करनी है. Now the point is, the person knows what they want to do, but the family is adamant. How do you handle this situation? Now, this is not very technical from a career coaching perspective, but those are the nuances you have to get into. You have to have a good understanding of human psychology. You have to understand people's emotions and have a very high EQ more than an IQ.
Has it happened that they didn't agree to you when you gave them an advice?
Yeah. Many times. So a lot of times, I've literally been told that whatever you're saying does not make sense to me, and I don't think it's logical. So, and you're on a call and I'm like, okay, it probably may not make sense to you, but basis my experience, use cases I have had, and जो मुझे सही लगता है, I'm telling you, and I am very clear with one thing. I always say this one line: this is what I feel you should do. It is not what you have to do ultimately.
Of course.
This is my opinion, my experiences, and I can always be wrong. I'm not a know-it-all Gyani Guru, bhai. I have been in the industry for 4.5 years. I'm myself 26 years old. I don't have like a wealth of experience under my kitty. But there are certain things I know because of the interactions I've had. If you want to follow it, this is the right way to do it. But if you don't do it also, it's not wrong in any way. This is something I've told in, and I've also made it very clear, I may not have the answers to everything. One very important thing, right? You may ask me a question. If I don't know, I will say I don't know. But I'll make it a point, I do my research on it and I get back to you.
Sure. Does Dhairya herself also go through the problems that people who meet her face?
I do. I think a lot of times I've seen people 10 years, 15 years into an industry, very driven, killing it in their jobs, realize one day we don't want to do this or we never wanted to do this. So many cases. I've seen investment bankers, DevOps engineers, testing folks coming in and saying, अब ये नहीं करना. 15 साल कर लिया, अब कुछ और करना है. We want to move to marketing or I want to move to data analytics, switch. And what that gave me a very deep insight very early on, that again, just because you are doing something for a very long period of time, it does not necessarily actually mean that is your ikigai, calling or your passion. Very controversial thing to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Because if it was their calling, तो 15 साल बाद suddenly, how come today, now you have realized you didn't want to do this? That's also the reason when I put myself, and I sometimes think, right, where am I going? What do I want to do? I'm very okay with the fact and comfortable that 5 years later, I may not be a career coach or pursuing career coaching or content creation
You're
or
saying
either
you
or
might
maybe
grow
doing
out of
it.
it.
I may. I don't know. And that's not wrong.
Yeah.
You are an individual. The world is so dynamic and every single day technology, career options and so many things are opening up. You evolve as a human being. I love it. See, as far as I can see, नहीं होगा. But हो सकता है. वो possibility I keep. It can happen. Right?
True. Sure. Curious to know, Dhairya, do you have a personal life? I'm asking because there's so many things you're juggling between.
Yeah.
And there are multiple.
Very good question.
And if you do, how do you manage?
No, I don't. So I think the plain answer is that while I would love to, and I've always been meaning to, it's just I've never probably given enough room to personal life to be able to have a personal life. In fact, forget personal life. I think when it comes to family time also, or just being able to spend quality time with family, that privilege has come into my life in the past 1 year. Right? The first 3 years, I was constantly hustling. And I told my mother and my father and my sister, next 2 years, my blinders are on. I will not have time for you because I'm trying to do something very different. I want to change the circumstances and see what I can do. So time nahi hoga mere paas. And that has happened. And I've not given them time, right? Not something I'm advocating for.
Is it fair, you think, for them or for you also to not have a personal life as such?
Yeah, I feel it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
I chose that life for myself for those 3 years. Right? Today I'm choosing to have a personal life. I'm in that zone today where I want to have it all.
Okay.
I didn't want it all then. I want it all now. Because I'm also in a situation where I'm more privileged probably. Yes. Today I've settled things for myself. I have established my ground wherein I have time and the mental peace to be able to accommodate another angle in my life. Right? At that time, just being able to become financially stable was more important. Yeah. So it's about priorities. It's about the sacrifices you're willing to make. And I always feel there has to be that complete hustle zone with nothing else coming your way, at least for 3 to 10 years in your life. Because if you give it that time, after that, there's no looking back. Now, what all are you choosing to sacrifice for it is a very, very personal choice. So I was willing to not go out and party with friends, not being in touch with any of my friends for 2 years, not giving family time, not having a personal life for 2.5 years. Now, I am willing to give all of that time, and everybody has been receptive enough because I was very vocal in the beginning, only ye hoga. Right? I also feel communication is important. I told my friends that this is going to happen. Don't think I'm getting arrogant or I'm trying to be somebody else or I'm not giving you time. Right? That can happen. Friendships can break. Or my family starts feeling I'm neglecting them. I don't value them anymore. So, if you have clarity with respect to where you want to get and how quickly can you get there. Even now, I'm not saying that I am where I want to be. It's always a journey. And you always aspire to do, when you reach one step, it's like, now what next? Now what next? It's a never ending
That was the
thing.
next question therefore. Do you think it's going to get easier from here?
No. I think it's going to get even the more tougher actually.
Then it was always a choice, no?
That is what. So I'll come to it. I think I'll tell you. It's just that with time, now it's in fact I'm going to get into the busiest phase of my life.
True.
To be very honest, with the new
True.
partnership and building an entire team, vertical and business, plus other things that I'm doing, and I've thought about it a lot. Then how is it that I have room for all of this in life? That is because probably I've just learned
Yeah.
how to effectively box my time better, and I've also delegated a lot of my work today. 6 months ago, I was still doing majority of the work, Debojit, right? While I had a 5 people remote team, today it has expanded, and I also have a lot of other work delegated to freelancers also, let's say.
Right.
So I have more hands who are helping me out with stuff. That's the reason that it is possible. And also the fact that now it is just a very integral part, and I want to be able to, have a more 360 and a rounded life, probably. Yeah.
As an ambassador, while I was reading about it, as an ambassador for businesses competitions, and how has your experience that can help the audience on influencing your approach now in Dhairya Decodes?
Business क्या था ये? Sorry.
So
Business is ambassador. I didn't.
No problem.
Sorry.
I'll rephrase the question.
What is
given that in the space that you are in, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Right? And you have a very small team. You had a very small team. It's expanding, as you mentioned. And a lot of people who are doing this, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, the competition is only going to go up. Content creation is becoming the in thing even more.
Correct.
Now, right?
Yeah.
So that way, what are the learnings that you want to share that you think you already have, or you're seeking? You're still kind of perplexed on how I'll manage this, or you're seeking?
See, I think I feel we are in this phase wherein every entrepreneur is creating content to be able to build again a strong personal brand, to help their company come in the forefront indirectly through their personal brand. Every creator is wanting to start a business and move towards entrepreneurship, and you're seeing creatorpreneurs being born. Now the point is, how do you not come under the influence and the pressure of having to do it,
Yeah.
but do something that's actually meaningful, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've done LinkedIn for 4 years, done trainings around it. I live, breathe, eat LinkedIn. It is the platform around which my flywheel is built. Hence, it makes sense for me to build a business around LinkedIn. अगर करने के लिए करना होता, and I'm just starting an apparel brand, because every other person is starting an apparel brand, and you're a creator and you have a distribution channel, and I have all the means to do that, and I can do that. But will you do it? So I think now the challenge is
Value addition करते रहना पड़ेगा.
value addition करते रहना पड़ेगा, and you'll also have to understand. See, it's a very, again, I don't know if I'll get a backlash for this, but you can't just be a creator. Sorry, today. You can't. If you want to sustain, सिर्फ creator कुछ नहीं होता. अगर आप सिर्फ creator हो, I'm very sorry to say, there's only so much respect in the society for just a creator. It's the truth. You have to, and just being a creator cannot pay your bills unless you are a Carrie Minati, or Ranveer Alabadi, or a Raj Shamani, or a Prajakta Kohli. They are also not just creating.
No,
Ranveer has built multiple businesses.
Yeah.
Raj Shamani has built multiple businesses. Prajakta Kohli has gotten into OTT movies. She is launching her own book. She's an author. Ankur Warikoo has courses, books. The point is, if you're just a creator, you won't sustain. You have to have a moat and a USP and build IPs. It's the world of IPs today. आपके इंटरनेट पे कोई इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी होनी चाहिए that you own, you have built from scratch and cannot be replicated.
इन चारों में से बेस्ट कौन है आपके हिसाब से?
See, I don't know. See, I've worked with Ankur. I've worked with Ranveer also, right? But Ankur is a very dear mentor, right?
Yes.
I've known Raj Shamani also for a while. I've been in touch with all of them. But I think when it comes to Ankur Warikoo, for me, just his sheer ability to build a educational company, WebVeda, and be able to do the kind of numbers he does just via corporate trainings and selling courses and being a creator, and that to such minimal brand collaborations, is phenomenal. Everybody receives some kind of backlash, and he may have done a few things wrong here and there. Cool. Are you making 25-30 crores an annum? I ask myself that. No, right? So there's a thing or two you can learn from him. Seek lo bas. The day you can make 30 crores probably a year. So I have always looked at him as someone who has a very, very strong set of processes, systems, and he runs WebVeda as a corporate company. It's a company. The people there, the way the salaries go out, the perks and benefits they get, the way they function, everything is so systematic, and I have seen it internally. Ankur, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you don't like about any one of them?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
While there may be a few things, obviously, everybody has opinions, but I just feel that in general, I've met a lot of creators in 4 years, and all the top creators you can think of, and had conversations with them like this for 2 to 3 hours. 99% of the times, what you see on camera and what they are off camera is very different, and it's very disheartening and disappointing, right? What you see on camera is a person A, what you see off camera is a person B, and it puts you off, right? A lot of idols like that I had in life have turned out to be people I'd never want to share a room with, right? You may be owning 1,000 crore company. Great, good for you. You're a good businessman, but I will not sit down and have a conversation with you because you're not a good human being. I'm like that, right? You have to be a good human being first, and then all your achievements and accolades can follow through. So I've had those experiences with a lot of the top creators wherein that's not matched.
True.
So that's why I respect a few creators even the more, because at least जो उधर दिखा रहे वही है.
कुछ misconceptions बताइए. You started with this, the fact that a lot of people who they are on screen may not be the ones who they are actually.
Yeah.
Other misconceptions of this industry that you want to point out?
I think people idealize the content creator thinking that they know the person, which is wrong. As an audience, you started following them for their content, okay? And you found their content valuable, and it's good to idealize them for their work ethic, but just assuming that this person would be really nice, like I would do, right? When I was very naive in the initial, that's not right, because then your perception will get shattered in a jiffy when you meet them. So I think one misconception is thinking that just because the person's content is good, that means they're also like that as a human being, or they would be like that. Another misconception is the number of followers you have is the amount of money you can make. Completely false. It's all about quality today.
Yeah.
People with 10,000 followers may be making more money than me.
Yeah.
People with 1 million followers also may not be making as much money as I am making.
True.
It doesn't matter. And also, just the fact that you can make money only on Instagram and YouTube is another misconception, right? You can be a LinkedIn creator today.
And make money.
Yes, and make money. It's tougher.
Yeah.
It's more technical. It's niche.
Yeah.
But it exists. Yeah.
Fantastic. Also in the coaching space that you exist in, there's a lot of scope for exploiting also. I mean, of course, you're supposed to empower.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of exploiting also that happens. First is, how do you look at it? How do you yourself understand the difference that, okay, now I might get into exploiting and I should stop here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how should the industry look at it?
No, that's a really nice question. I think, see, it's a business at the end of the day, right? I'm doing this to make a living for myself. It's been 2.5 years I quit my job. My bread and butter and my bills are paid by the sessions and the brands that I work with and my business, which is revolving around students and mentorship at the end of the day. So a student and their career is involved somewhere or the other in the loop. With that comes a lot of responsibility, but like I said, at the end of the day, you have to make money. So you need to understand there may be situations wherein you see that this student maybe comes from an affluent background. I'll be super honest.
Yeah.
They have a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
Anda paisa hai. Like 3,000 rupees or 5,000 or 10,000 for a 20-minute session is nothing for them. They're willing to pay you even 20,000, let's say.
True.
But will you just go on and keep taking sessions and telling them, let's do another session, or you need this help also, ya ye bhi kar lo, ya enroll into this course also of mine for the heck of it? that's where you're exploiting somebody. Because when the benefit or the outcome you can get out of them becomes greater than the good you can do for them.
You don't do that?
No, I don't think so. And I can say that with a very clean slate. I'm very sure I've not done that at least in the last 4.5 years, and I will never do
You
that.
know people in the industry who do that?
100%. 100%. They have exorbitant rates just on their website, yaar. You go to their website, people are literally charging, like I said, 20,000 for half an hour. मैंने 250 rupees से शुरू किया था. Today I have come up to 3,000 rupees for a 1 hour session. वो भी इतना मेरे को बोला है लोगों ने. Even today Ankur tells me this is nothing there for your time, what you're charging. But मेरे से होता ही नहीं है. For the one-on-one time at least. Right? So, I also feel the reason why I cannot do it. I have the option to do it, but the reason I will not do it is again, because I'm not dependent on just this stream of income. Another thing, right? As a creator or even as an individual today, you have to build a flywheel for yourself. I believe in that. It has to be 360 degrees. Just one-to-one mentorship or just B2B trainings or just brand deals or just the podcast or just the partnership I'm getting into or personal branding with, for founders. Like I counted 7 things right now, right? In the next 2 months, I'm launching my own course, which I've not done in 4 years. You have to have multiple things so that you are not desperate to get money out of that one thing, right? Desperation will come.
That's an interesting one. That if the desperation comes in, you end up spoiling the...
Correct. The entire experience and then compromising on your values and ethics. Because I'm not depending on that
Sure.
money, I can, choose to not go down that
There are
route.
a lot of times in our podcast, the frequent question comes in that it's slightly more difficult as a female entrepreneur to
Yeah.
succeed. Do you agree? If yes, why?
I think yes and no both.
Okay.
Because I feel, I don't know, I don't think it's more difficult to succeed. You just have to go through a lot more challenges and probably face a lot of, I would say, what's the best way to... I feel what happens is you're just not taken very seriously a lot of times. That's the only thing I feel. Then again, but how do you make your work make things look serious?
But that takes time. No?
It takes time. Yeah, so it takes time. So today people take me seriously, right? Who said 2 years ago people were taking me seriously? You go into a room today, if I want to talk to a unicorn founder, I know because of the kind of brand and content and audience I've built on just LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Let's say I have 0 on Instagram and YouTube also.
Yeah.
I'm confident I'll at least get 15 minutes of their time.
Sure.
That was not possible 2 years ago, right? Because it's like, oh, she's just a 20. Another, the age thing. Oh, you're just a 20. I started when I was 22, right? And people were like, you're 22 years old. What will you teach MBA students? Aapko khud hi kya aata hai? So I think all of that I've faced a lot. And then being a girl, will you travel? You'll have to come down to, let's say, Bhubaneswar to take a session. Or you'll have to come to Jamshedpur, right? And is that feasible? ये आपसे हो पाएगा क्या? 6 दिन कैंपस में रहना पड़ेगा. All of that. क्यों नहीं कर सकते यार? The point is, a lot of notions are there and it's just more difficult for people to take you seriously. But once that barrier is crossed, I don't think there's any difference. It's just then probably an excuse a lot of people use, but I don't think it's more difficult for a female than a male or vice versa. At the end of the day, like I said, your work and what you're providing has to have so much value that people can't ignore you.
Yeah, I agree. You've also spoken about travel quite a few times now. What role has travel played in your life? Both pros and cons?
I think pros, that I get to not live a very stationary, monotonous life, which I anyways don't like. I get to interact with people in different cities, meet a lot of new folks eventually, because it happens so many times. Like I was on the flight today and I happened to meet a founder, an entrepreneur of a leading gaming company, and I just met him at an event of Art of Living 2 months back in Bangalore.
Sure.
We didn't get to speak, but we looked at each other and we knew kahi tu dekha hai isko, right? And because of these travels, so many times I've bumped into creators I know, entrepreneurs I've met, and had further deeper conversations, engagements, and then this podcast wouldn't have happened if I was that day not at an event in Bombay
Yeah.
for ICICI, met Amit, then Sanjeev came in, Sanjeev told you I can come. So the point is, traveling has opened up a lot of opportunities and doors that sitting at home, because I don't need an office. The business I run doesn't need an office space. Okay, you can operate it from anywhere. I can be sitting in Netherlands for all you know and still operating, because my team is anyways in different parts of India, and we can completely do the work remotely. So now, what do? The travel has opened up opportunities because I have ended up meeting some amazing folks in a random cafe. I'm sitting and working out of a cafe, and right side pe some $1 billion company founder is sitting who I don't even know is the founder of that company. And then we have explored some synergies, business synergies have come out of it, and so much more. A few cons I think are, it does affect your day-to-day work if you don't have your work delegated. So until 6 months ago, क्या हो जाता था? Every time I'm traveling, na, those 3 days, normal काम would stop. Stand still पे. Because you're traveling, you're in a shoot, everything else is paused. Today, while I'm sitting here, I know my next podcast edit is still happening. Content is going out. The team is working on scripts. I know that the brand जिसके साथ conversation चल रही है, my manager is speaking to her. I don't have to worry, and work is not stopping. This is happening, that is happening simultaneously, right? So, but I still feel it's a journey. I have not arrived there wherein I still feel when I'm traveling, thoda bahut hit to abhi bhi hota hai. It takes a hit. So the normal work comes to a standstill. That's a con, and I think the other con is a lot of times it comes on your health too. Unless you're able to navigate your way through the best way to keep yourself immune to different conditions, and also a lot of lethargy that comes in a lot of times. So post the travel, how do you come back and still continue work with the same energy?
True.
Might seem like a very basic thing, but it's very important, right? 3 दिन का आपने work trip किया है, but how are you still back on track the next day?
Maybe last question before I get into the last section of the day. If at all there comes a situation in life where Dhairya has to pause her entrepreneurship stint because of some other priority that she comes up with, how will she manage the situation?
This is a very difficult question. I honestly feel I don't think I will ever want to voluntarily pause it. But if a condition arises, like you said, wherein I have no option but to pause it, I think once I pause it, I would want to then take some time and a break, which anyways I need in life and have not gotten, and just think, introspect and reflect on what else can I do, right? So that will be a Dhairya 2.0 journey or a 3.0 journey, considering the number of pivots I've had, wherein I may want to venture into something very untapped and unexplored. Like, I've always wanted to do like a product-based business, right? Because I've been in the services space for so long. But maybe it's not just getting comfortable. I love the services side so much and being around people that मैंने कभी consider किया ही नहीं, ना मैं कर रही हूँ. So maybe if that pause comes in, I may start something very new, maybe not in edtech, not in education, but on the product side of things. But I will still be building something, that's for sure. Yeah.
Lovely. Let's get to the last section of the day. It's called the rapid fire section.
Yeah.
And these are just fast questions, fast answers, whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah, I've done those with my guests.
Yeah. So,
now I am on the other side.
so you would know. You're ready?
Sure.
We can start. Okay, if you got to instantly master one skill, which one will it be?
Client servicing.
Biggest fear?
Client servicing.
That is the biggest fear also?
No, that's not the biggest fear. Client servicing is the skill I'd like to master.
I asked the next question. Biggest fear?
Achha, my biggest fear. I think my biggest fear is...
Quick.
It's a deep thing, yaar. Yeah, okay. I think, my biggest fear is just not giving enough time to my loved ones because of how over ambitious I am.
One person you hate the most?
What is this question? I hate the most.
Yeah, dislike.
I don't hate anybody, yaar.
Dislike.
It has to be like a public figure or something, or can it be anybody?
Anybody. You need not name also, maybe. You can just say the relation.
I dislike a lot of creators in the industry who claim to be authentic but are not authentic.
Okay, favorite productivity hack?
Which is time boxing. It's worked very well for me. Only concentrating on one thing at a time, giving it that complete focus for 2 hours and then moving to the
One
next.
book that changed your life?
Atomic Habits.
Great book. Most inspirational place?
Most inspirational place.
Yeah.
I think for me, I feel it's Ahmedabad. I'll tell you the reason. I was born in Ahmedabad. My nani is, and my entire family from my mother's side is from Ahmedabad. I started my journey during the lockdown from her home in Ahmedabad. It takes me back to where I started from and always reminds me of how far I have to go.
Absolutely get it. One stress buster?
Stress buster, dance. I love dancing. I'm a trained Kathak dancer also. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite travel destination?
Bali. I just went to Bali like
And you
a
loved
few
it?
weeks. I loved it. Me and my sister went on
Why?
So, firstly, it was special because me and my sister went on a only sisters' first international trip with our own money.
Okay.
It's very special, right? Many firsts. We really liked the country in general. The people are super helpful, very, very sweet, very kind, very safe as a place also, I must say. It has beaches, it has a good nightlife. Food is a little problematic, but I just love the vibe. We just love the vibe of the
True.
place.
It's a full city of parties.
Yes.
One unexpected hobby?
One unexpected hobby.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really like, making predictions.
Okay.
Like I'm very good with reading minds and saying ये होगा. और वो होता है mostly. I have like a very strong gut, right? And I have a very strong intuition of things. It's come from my mother.
Wow.
And like I can scan a lot of things when I meet people. I need to have just like a 10-minute conversation. I will mostly say 8 things right out of 10 about you. So I like doing that.
Wonderful. Last question. One prediction about me.
One prediction about you.
You've tempted me to ask this.
But in what area? Like anything?
Yeah. I mean, you have the freedom, so you can choose.
So I feel that you are in this phase of your life wherein you are really trying to explore and uncover a lot of different things that you want to do yourself as an entrepreneur and not wanting to limit yourself just to the random mundane day-to-day things. Like I feel you're very open to doing things you wouldn't be comfortable with before. Like I'm not very sure, maybe probably being in front of the camera, not just the podcast, probably trying out new cuisines, doing things that you wouldn't do. You're in that adventurous zone of your life, I feel so.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Was my prediction right? At least
we'll talk. but thank you so much for coming to the show.
No, my pleasure. Thank you so much for, being a great host, Debujit, and I had a great time.
Thank you, and I am sure the audience will also take back a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the same
Hopefully.
space, content creation, coaching people, a lot of people struggling with their own thoughts. I'm sure they would also reach out to you. More would reach out to you with some audience from Barta India Dekho also.
Sure.
And this is truly taking India forward. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, मेरे तो बहुत सारे learnings थे. सबसे पहले तो कि LinkedIn पे यार इतना सारा पैसा बन सकता है और उसके ऊपर various transitions of career can be done by linking one to another which are so divergent from each other. I think उससे भी ज़्यादा how confidence can really take you high so early in your career and many others. आपके क्या learnings थे एपिसोड से? बताइए मुझे कमेंट में. और हाँ, उसके साथ मत भूलिए टू सब्सक्राइब टू बढ़ता इंडिया देखो बिकॉज दिस इज जस्ट द स्टार्ट. हम ऐसे ही बहुत सारे एपिसोड्स आपके लिए लाने वाले ऑन दिस सेम यूट्यूब चैनल. सी यू सून.